We did a little Zoom call last night with my family, and my mom and dad are awesome people. They're back in Wisconsin. My dad was a high school teacher. He's a guidance counselor. That's why I started Friends of Film, was because of him, because he always wants to show and guide people and help out students to get in internships with companies. So he's asking me about the film business, and I started teaching and making videos for his students, and then it grew into this. So my brother and sister now have kids, and the kids are now starting to graduate from high school. And one of them, Isabel in particular, she's like been working at Walmart. They're not going to have the money to go to college, which is fine, in my opinion, absolutely fine. In fact, it's even better. You know why? Because if you don't have a degree and you think you're behind the 8 ball, you're going to work your fucking ass off to make something of your life. Hopefully. And that's what I want to instill in her. Work your ass off. Yeah, if you think you're behind the 8 ball, you're not. You know, if you want to work for a corporate company and have that life, sure, fine. Maybe they're going to be like, oh, you need a degree. But for film industry, everybody here for film industry, we don't care about degrees. We care about how you are to work with. And then once we work with you, then you just grow it and grow and grow, and more people love you and know you and pass your name around and want to help you in the direction that you want to go. We need to think about, how do we get that initial game where we get all these people, where we get in and get all these people passing our name around and get all these people endeared to you. And then they start helping you, passing your name around, getting you on shoots all the freaking time. I mean, if you're like, does it really happen that way? How else can it work? Is there any other way it can work? Because you don't apply for jobs. Think about it. Film industry, is it hard? I don't know. Is it easy? I don't know. It's not either. It's just what you do. What's hard is working at Walmart for 8 hours a day. She said it last night. She's like, I hate my job. Fluorescent lights, stale air, all those people, I hate it. I can't wait to get out of there. And then when I get home, I'm so tired and I just want to sleep, and all my energy is zapped and all my creativity is zapped. And I've heard this a million times. Yes, that's hard. So you got to make something of yourself in this world. So it's like, what do I do? I don't even know what to do. What am I qualified to do? I'm like, well, you could go, I say, this is what I always say. Do what other people don't do. But I just want to have a job where I work outside and it's fun. I'm like, that's what everybody wants. Sure, me too. I'd love an easy job. They pay me a lot of money just to hang out outside. You could be a forest ranger. Won't make a lot of money. Could go work at the Grand Canyon. Won't make a lot of money. Can go hiking every weekend. Depends on what you want to do. But, if you want to make a lot of money, then you do what other people don't do, and you go after it like a mofo. Like you go after it like a shark in a feeding frenzy, man. Like you take an idea and you explore it to the ends of the earth. Dudes, you're going to have success, because nobody does that. I've done that multiple times in my life. One of them was when I started a laser hair removal clinic. This is while I'm in the film industry. I'm working in the film industry. Remember, I work 10 to 15 days a month. I got a lot of free time. Making 30 grand a month, working 10 to 15 days a month. Okay, lots of money. Okay. Now I got so much money. I'm like, where do I invest this thing? I want to start another business. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go into banking. I'm going to go into real estate. I'm looking at laser hair removal. So I buy this franchise. And I'm looking for places to put this franchise. Now I know this doesn't have anything to do with film, but it all has to do with everything. It has to do with that feeling inside you that actually makes you successful. Because my brother's daughter right now, she'd love to have me help her get in the film industry. Oh yeah, Janet, can't I just do what you do? Here's the thing, she's not going to be successful in film industry. You know why? You guys know why, don't you? Do you know why? When you just want all the cherries, when you all you want is the glory, all the easy, you just want it handed to you, but you haven't lived in the grit, figuring it out day by day, doing the research, doing the shit, doing the hard work. I mean, Chris Vaughn, I'm going to talk, picking on Chris again. I know Chris. I don't know Chris that well, but I know Chris has gone through some hard shit. Maybe you have too, Carl, Hard shit. figuring it out, had to pull himself up by the bootstraps to get somewhere in life. Dylan's just starting off, but Dylan's probably been having summer jobs, doing stuff other people don't do. He's here, he's on time, he's got his headphones. I mean, you guys are here ready to do something with your life. And that grit is going to get you where you want to be, that hustle, that desire. And it doesn't come from people handing you stuff. I'm not going to hand her anything. In fact, I want her to go out there into the world and work at Walmart and get a second job too and work her fucking ass off and then see what the value is of work and see how much money that she's making and work really hard and maybe improve some stuff at Walmart, improve some stuff in this second job, start a second entrepreneurial job. Okay, now you might be ready for the film industry. Now I'm going to help her with the film industry. But she's going to pay for this course. I'm not giving her this course because she's my niece. No. If she just gets it if I just give it to her, she's not going to do it. It's going to be like too easy. This is the way it works. She's going to have to pay for it. If she wants to stay at my house here while she builds her career in LA, if that ever happens, she's going to have to pay rent. Because nothing is free. You don't learn anything from people giving you stuff. Do you agree with me? Think I'm a hard ass? It is how you learn. Because, dudes, everything I got in my life, I came from just, oh shit, I'm behind such an 8-ball here. I've got to do way more than everybody else because I'm never going to make it if I don't. And so I'd be just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Action, finding out, calling this person, figuring out, don't know what I'm doing. Trying to swallow the fear and the self-doubt inside me. Like, you have no right being here. These people are way smarter than you. I'm like, don't think about that. Don't think about that. Don't think about that. This is going to take you years to figure this out. Don't think about that. Just do it. Keep learning. Keep going. So that's very, very good. And how do you learn that? You have to learn it by getting out there and doing it. You learn it by you living that, which is why I love what I'm doing. It is, oh God, it's just the best freaking thing because you learn it by doing the whole entire thing and you grow as a person by doing it. And it happens in a very nice way where you're guided and you see all these other people do it and you have to overcome some of your own shit in order to do it, but then you really want to do it because you see other people doing it, you see the success they're doing it, and you have the big cherry at the end, so you're like, I want that. I want to become that person. I want to learn these skills. I want to get better. I want to make that money. I don't want to go back to the other jobs that I don't like. And all these things add up to you just doing this stuff. And then pretty soon, before you know it, you are a very in-demand, very talented, very skilled, very good at talking with people, very good at negotiating, very good at putting together your invoice and juggling your schedule and being a professional. And it's not like, oh my God, if I get a chance. It's more like, yes, I'm very good at what I do and I'm available those days. And I'm so happy that you called me because I've always wanted to work with you. I can't wait to work with you. And people are like, oh yes, can't wait to work with you. And you're just creating good energy around there, around what you do. And then if you can be successful in the film industry, you can go into anything and be successful, which is what I've done, gone into other businesses and made a ton of money because nobody thinks like this. Once you get this thing going, once you master this, you go into the banking industry. I went to the banking industry after that. I don't know anything about finance, nothing. I went to the bank conferences. I crashed the bank conferences. I go into the bar. Dudes, this is it. Like, this is it. You want to hear the story? You're going to see from the story how having those balls really helps. I don't have balls, but I got the equivalent of balls. I don't know what I got, but you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I want to master real estate in an area that everybody's chasing these foreclosures. I want to come in around the backside where nobody knows this shit and buy directly from the banks. I know they got stuff they want to get rid of. I want to learn how to do that. I got to find somebody to teach it to me, but I'm going to try to use my skills to try to find those people and try to learn this business. And no, there's no classes for how to do this. There's no schools for how to do this. Nobody teaches you how to do this stuff. That's pretty much the world. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start going to bank conferences and I'm going to start meeting bankers and asking a bunch of questions. So I put on my business suit, I do the research, I find out where the bank conferences are, and I just go. Now everybody there is wearing the name tags, and they paid like $3,000 to $5,000 to be there, and they're going inside the things, and I'm there without a name tag because I didn't pay to be there. But I'm like, where can I talk to people? Well, they're everywhere. So I go to the bar, and they're hanging out at the bar, and I'm like, hey, I got a business suit on. I'm like, hey, so which bank are you with? This bank. Oh, wow, cool. What kind of stuff do they specialize in? Where are you guys based? Oh, wow, that's great. Are you at the conference? Yeah, I'm here at the conference. I'm here in the bar at the conference. Huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm here at the bar at the conference to meet people. They're like, wow, that's interesting. These people are all employees. So they're there to party. And I'm like, oh, so how's the conference? What are you learning? What are the things? And I'm like, can I look at your book? They're like, sure. They don't care. They're employees. Give me the book. I'm like, oh, wow, this is a conference book. I'm like, hey, can I take this and make some copies? They're like, sure. They don't care. I take it. We're at a Hilton, okay? I did a bunch of these. I go to the front desk, I go to the Hilton, I'm like, hey, can you copy this entire book? And they're like, assuming that I'm at the conference. So they're like, sure. They do it all for me for free. They give me the whole book back. I'm like, go back. I'm like, here's your book. Thank you so much. Now I have everybody's name at the conference. Ha 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 ha. What do I do next? I go to the hotel phone. I sit there at the hotel phone and I call people on there because they're staying there at that hotel. I'm like, hey, so-and-so there from, I'm like, can you connect me with so-and-so's room? Yes. Hello, my name is Janet Urban. I'm here with Universal Asset Management, and I'm here to buy non-performing mortgages. I'm wondering if you might have some time to talk to me this afternoon. Yeah, Janet, who'd you say you're with? Universal Asset, okay, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, 1:30 sounds good. I'll be down by the bar, okay? Okay, sounds good. I'll see you. What are you wearing? Good. Okay, great. Then they come down, they meet with me, and they're like, okay, hi, nice to meet you. So and now they're expecting this company. It's just me. I don't know what I'm doing. So I just like kind of tell them, I'm like, I'm here, want to get into this. What kind of stuff do you have? I just did my best. That's impressive to them. The first meeting was just like, what the hell? But after that, I'm kind of getting pretty good. I'm finding out what they got. And then after a couple of those meetings, I talked to other people. Did you know that these guys have a lot of this kind of asset? These guys have this kind of asset. So yeah, that takes balls to do that shit. Guess what? How did I find my partners then? I met my partners at a different conference, and they're like, you go around you crash bank conferences, and you know about all of these different, you know these people personally, and you have their information, you know what they have. We want to partner with you. I'm like, sounds good. I'm looking for somebody to teach me everything because I don't know what to do with all this stuff. And they're like, well, we'll teach you everything. They taught me everything, and they paid for me to now go to these bank conferences. So I didn't have to crash them anymore. I got to get the little tag now. And so I was really able to do this. Conference crashers, that's right, yeah. Film industry helped me a lot because it's a mover and shaker business, and you just do shit, you know what I mean? You can sit on your ass and wait for it, but you gotta just do it. You gotta move the needle. And I learned that. And you're not gonna, if you're like, I could never do that. If you're like, I'm not that kind of person. Well, don't worry about it because I wasn't either. See, what happens is what you want has to be so much stronger than the fear that you have inside of you. And that's why you're here today, because you've been here now twice for hours. What you want is stronger than your own concern and self-doubt about you getting that thing. So you will not be stopped. So you're willing to grow, and you will. And all these experiences is what turns you into who you are. So it's a very worthwhile time. So be bold.